Hi, this is Eric Martin with Board Game Geek. I'm here with J.R. Honeycutt, game developer for Artana.
Hey, man.
As it says on the bottom of the screen.
I haven't seen you in weeks. We're going to fist bump?
Yeah.
We can't transmit sickness. I can handshake the audience as much as I want.
Steven's hand.
Well, that's gross. Yeah. That is the winning football hand, though.
It is, but the problem is I should clean my hand before I shake anyone else.
That's right. That's fair. I'm saying I haven't seen you in 10, maybe 12 days. It's been a little while, so...
That's right. We jump all around, all these places. That's right. We saw each other at BGG-Con Spring.
We did.
Another recent event where JR taught me Concordia.
Concordia by Max Gertz.
Talking about it being one of his favorite games. He's played it so much. He's engrossed with it this year.
My 28th play of Concordia was with Eric a few weeks ago. So.
That's right, which was my first play.
And
I liked it.
Yeah?
I liked it a lot. I mean, I like card comboing games where you are trying to put things together and optimize stuff.
Yeah.
It's more just an issue of I have less time these days for really like digging into a game.
Well, good news, I have Concordia right here. We can just play it together in the next 8 minutes.
That's right.
What's your
Jayahre. It's the same as my BGG username.
JR.
Correct, it's Phonetic Explain JR. You guys go look at my Concordia plays on BGG, you can check it out, so I don't know.
Right. But I mean, that is something that is definitely lacking in terms of coverage. I've seen people post about the problem of reviewers, of course, being that they try to spit out reviews about everything as quickly as possible, playing a game once and then I do it, done.
I tell you, you actually took me to task for that when I reviewed Splendor. And I said that Splendor, I wrote a review of Splendor, it was a negative review, and then you were like, hey man, you should play this more because you're wrong. And you said I
forget why you were wrong.
Well, for a lot of reasons, and I explained them, and then you ended up reposting it on BGG, and you got me the most, views I've ever gotten one of my articles. Was when I was like, I was wrong about Splendor, and here's why. And I explained basically the combination of you and Eric Lang telling me about how if I don't like a game and lots of people do, then I need to think about it harder and play it more and figure it out. Right. So it was a nice moment.
And it's not necessarily play it so that you like it.
Right. But just try to understand it.
Just to understand it.
Right.
And of course, that's an issue I come up with over and over and over again. Hey, that's why I just retweeted you the other day when you were talking about your developer diary mini version.
That's right.
There's a difference between I don't like it and
it's
that's not good.
The quote was, there's a difference between things I don't like and things that are not good. Yes. So in working with Dirk at Artana and with Rob with Seafall and everything, obviously, I get a lot of stuff where I'm like, I don't think that's good. And they're like, it's good. Just wait until you figure it out. And I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Turns out they're pretty smart.
I mean, the hard part with game design, of course, is you do have the first play.
Right.
And everyone's going to have some sort of reaction after that first play that is going to differ from what it would be after your 20th play.
Yeah.
But you may not make it to that 20th play because you did not like that first play.
I gotta say, man, honestly, I'm not sure how many games get made these days where they intend for people to play it 20 times. I mean, the good ones, obviously, but there's a lot of games out there that are, you're gonna play them 3-5 times and then you're gonna move on, right? So.
But also, why are you moving on? Is it because it's not good, or just because, there's all these other games?
Cold to the new, baby.
And so
Kickstarter deliveries come in every day. Look at all these front porch. He's got 12 boxes stacked up over there, right? I get to BGG-Con, and I know that if I don't play these games this month, then we'll be at the library pulling these things out because they haven't been played in 3 years, and they're going to be gone anyways. So, you guys make 3,000 new games every year, or whatever it is. We got to play them all. But sometimes,
there are a lot of games.
Yeah, and we just got into, my group's found Tigris and Euphrates for the first time, right? So now I've got 7 logged plays of Tigris and I think 8 logged plays of Samurai because they're doing the re-release of Reiner's games.
Right.
And they're great. It turns out he's a really good game designer.
Who knew?
Right, and he makes Euro games that are elegant and compelling and replayable. And when you play them the 4th time, you're better at them than you were the first time you played them. And it's really exciting to be a part of a board game hobby, right? Where that's a thing. And it's not just other stuff.
Which is funny because now Tigris is 20 years old almost.
Yeah. It's almost as old as I am.
It's still new.
I got Aldi with that, right? When Tigris came out, I was 13. I was fresh off recovering from the Cowboys losing to the Packers in the divisional round of the playoffs that year.
Okay.
Aldi's crying over there.
It's old and new.
It is old and new.
The industry is big enough.
Yep.
There's enough people in it that there's people coming in all the time, and all of this is new to them. Everything.
Dude, I've been loving on this game Cleopatra, 2006 release from Days of Wonder.
Yes.
Which has, if you guys haven't seen it, go check it out. Cleopatra. You flip the box over, you build a sweet temple for Cleopatra, and while you do it, you've played it, I'm sure. these people who are like infiltrating the temple are trying to get you to like basically use like crocodile magic to have better stuff and spend better resources. But the person with the most crocodile magic then gets killed by a crocodile.
That's right.
And they can't be the best architect. And the best part about it is that if there's a tie for the most corruption at the end of the game, all of the tied players are dead. We played a 5-player game where 4 people tied for the most, and the most inept, broke architect who did nothing the whole game won, which is so like real life. Where like the government of Egypt, like Cleopatra, is like, we'll just take the cheapest bid. This is the least qualified contractor who said it'll cost the cheapest. You're in, the rest of you are gone. Fed to crocodiles, we've got it. It was so perfect. I don't know. 2006 release, and if it came out right now, people would get really excited about it, I think. Because it was elegant and it's beautiful and it has all these cool pieces. So
that's right.
There's some value in going back into the past.
It's got a cool little hook with the deck where you flip over half the cards, so half the cards are revealed and half aren't.
Yeah, no, it's good.
It's this weird mystery thing that I don't think anyone else has really done.
No, and is it Bruno and Ludovic that did that game?
It is.
Aldi, is that right?
That sounds right.
I think it's still like, here's two guys that now, if those two guys made a game together. Yeah. Those guys made a game together now, everyone would be like, oh my gosh, we have to play this, right? Like, they've had so many hits the last 3 years, last 10 years. Right? I mean, they've got plenty, right? So, like, if Cleopatra came out now, and that was Days of Wonder's release in 2017, people would go nuts for it. And yet, here it is buried. So I'm trying to bring Cleopatra back. I'm like the Justin Timberlake of Egyptian board games.
Yes.
You have no response to that. What's that? Yeah. So go check it out. Go get Cleopatra. And if it's on your shelf and you haven't played it again. It's good. So
yes. Yeah. But you could say that about 100 games.
I could, but I have only said it about 3 so far.
Okay.
I can do it.
And so that becomes this weird divide where you're like, I want to talk about Concordia.
Right.
I have played Concordia. I have learned lots of things about how to be better. And then you brought in the expansion, and then the other expansion, and how this mixed together, and how it changes it. And this is all like gelling in your head based on experience.
Oh yeah.
And like, how many other people are at that level where they're actually thinking about the game?
I mean, I think it's probably true that on this side of the pond, we play those games less. We're like more culturally new than they are in Europe. I don't know that that's true. You guys comment on the YouTube thing, on the doodly-doo. Yeah. Let us know. But it feels like my friends in my playgroup are much more likely to push to the new game. Like, maybe we'll play a game 2 or 3 times. Like, we found Cyclades at New Year's this year. Fell in love with it for 2 months. Great game. And then we haven't played it in the last 4 months, right? And it's another Ludovic game, isn't it?
It is Cathala.
Yeah, I think it's the same 2 guys.
I think it is,
yeah, nice. All right, so maybe I just have I'm just in love with French guys.
It happens.
Yeah, and Lafayette is a Hamilton reference. I hope somebody laughed at that. That was a really good joke.
I'll pretend it was.
Yeah, so what was I going to say? I had another game I wanted to talk about. I forgot what it was.
I don't know. It's this Samurai.
Samurai also very good.
Also almost 20 years.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's getting up there.
What have you played? Oh, about Concordia. Concordia should be played a bunch, and I'm glad that you played it once, and I hope that you play it 5 more times, because it's rewarding.
Now I need to get a copy, that's the problem.
Well, I'm pretty sure you've got access.
I got access, yes, I can go buy a copy and do this, but it's also access to the players, and access to this, and
Well, do you have keys to the hangar at Jeff's place?
No.
No?
Dallas is rather far from my home.
Where do you live? I have no idea.
North Carolina.
North Carolina, it's not that far. It's not as far as Esalen.
It's not really worth a drive, though. I'll tell you that much. I'm going to spend more than the cost of the game on gas.
That's fair.
So, but it's also just the issue of finding players to devote themselves to do all this and so forth and so on.
I mean, I know that, for instance, the Board Game Geek community wouldn't be willing to come to your home in North Carolina and play games with you. Surely none of these people would do so, right?
I would hope they don't, because I'm not there. Don't go to my house.
If you guys are at Origin, find Eric and play Concordia with him.
It's also, I got a 7-year-old, and so there's a lot with that.
That means you're like 3 years away from those games then, right?
Yeah, we just got Ghost Fighting Treasure Hunters.
That was a Kinderspiel winner
2 years ago.
Yeah,
now out in English, coming out in July. Mattel sent me an advanced copy, and we've already played it with my son like 5 times.
He likes it?
Yes.
Have you found that you've discovered depth in the game as you played it more than once?
We discovered how to play better, because we lost, win.
Yep.
And now we won as a 2-player. And so part of it is me. I am being the alpha player with him to some degree.
Well, yours
because he's a 7-year-old.
Sure.
And he's just like, I want to go do this one thing. We play a 2-player game. I don't know if you played.
I haven't.
So, ghosts pop up in a house. You're trying to get treasure out of the house to win.
Yeah.
Okay. If you get 3 ghosts in a room, it becomes haunted.
Okay.
If 6 rooms become haunted, you lose.
That's That's Ghost Stories. That's Antoine Balz's Ghost Stories.
It's a very simplified version here.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But to unhaunt a room, you have to get 2 people in it
Oh,
before
no.
you can combat.
So it's a puzzle.
A haunting.
Yeah.
There's a hunt. It's a little cooperative. We got to
Sure.
go do this. But you do 2-player. If you get separated and one person, you get haunted in different rooms, then of course you've lost. You
Nice.
can't leave a room if it's haunted.
Oh, so basically the person has to come to you and that's it.
Yeah.
So you don't do
And
the
if
things
they
you would
get
have done
stuck in
otherwise.
the other thing that's haunted, then
So how does your son react to that? Does he like appreciate the difficulty and want to fight through the challenge?
he just wanted to, he had a plan for what he wanted to do, which
And-
would have screwed me and I would not have done anything. He's like, no, I just want to go get that treasure. I'm like, well, then we're going to get haunted and lose.
Well, children are
Because-
selfish.
Yes, that's what, so it's working through that. But now
Right.
now we've done this and we've won. Okay, so now I need to like loosen the reins and see what he does.
Well, you can do that.
Yeah.
It's cool.
And then
like,
there's an advanced level that we can start add these other cards, which make it a little more difficult. You have to
Yeah.
get the treasures out in numerical order and
Gotcha.
other things to advance to. But okay, we played that 5 times. How much more are we going to do? And how much? It's
I don't know.
you keep going, And some people talk about,
Right.
I played this game and I feel like I got enough out of it. Or I feel like I got out of it all that I'm going to get out of it.
Totally, yeah. Like three games. If it's the same game the first 3 times you play it, and nothing new happens, then yeah, I'll put it away.
But it can still be enjoyable.
Sure.
And you would still...
well, you know
like-
what? For instance, like Ticket to Ride. Right.
I've played Quirkle like 150 times.
High five.
And Quirkle
yeah.
Quirkle
is
my wife's favorite game.
Is
But-
a killer at Nerd Night. Love Quirkle.
But I don't know if I'm any better at the 150th time than I am at the 100th time.
well, you're probably going to play much
But-
more aggressively, right?
But but I still like it.
Sure,
And I
yeah.
still will play it, and my wife and I'll
I mean,
play
I've been
it.
jogging like 500 times in my life, and I still go jogging, right? So, and nothing new happens.
Yeah,
It's the same experience
True.
every single time. Quirkle is the jogging of board games.
Maybe
sometimes.
so. It is funny though because you play new people,
Sure.
and you will crush them.
Well, and watching them play because they want to solve the puzzle, as opposed to watching them play to prevent you from scoring any points at all on your turn, it's interesting. But a lot of games are like that, right? They're like, Tigris and Euphrates, to pull it full circle. Tigris is a game where you can inadvertently totally set up somebody for massive points.
Yes.
You can just be like, I'm going to put a tile here. They're like, oh, cool, thanks for the 12 green points you just gave me. I really enjoyed that.
That's right, because I'm going to devastate everything.
Absolutely. The first time I played with Ace, who was one of the BGG helpers now, the first time that I played the game with Ace, he actually, in trying to hurt me, initiated a combat between me and somebody else that scored me like 15 points. Like, it gave me so many points in the game, and I won like 23 to 8 to 6 to 2.
Okay.
And he was like, I guess I shouldn't have done that. And I was like, no, it's cool. Save it, right? All these, like, giving the knowing look over there, having played Tigris probably 100 times.
Yeah. Well, you had the online implementation of it. Yes. Yeah. But but you don't know until you fall in that hole.
I've got a 30-second warning here. My bosses are waiting for me.
Oh, hey.
Yeah.
Well, we wrapped up to Tigris, so we circled and we're done.
We did. Can I tell you guys about what Artana is doing real fast?
In
Is that all
25
right?
seconds.
Absolutely. Guys, I'm JR Honeycutt. I am a full-time game developer for Artana. That's artana.com, at Artana Games on Facebook and Twitter. Check out our upcoming games, Tesla vs. Edison Powering Up, an expansion to our popular title, Tesla vs. Edison, and Corrupted Kingdoms, both successfully kickstarted this year. We hope you check them out. We're here at Origin showing off our coins and those things. We've got a ton planned for Gen Con too.
That's right. Both of those are going to be at Gen Con.
They absolutely will be. So,
Yes.
Thanks, man. Oh, we're going to do that? All right. What if I just wrapped your fist with my hand? Is that weird?
Oh, we did high five.
That's right. Oh, thank you.